Well, it's 10 o'clock at night. Just started to rain a little bit. And there we have our electric fan sitting nicely in its spot. We just have to come up with some better brackets than the ones they provided with us from Summit Racing. Paid, I think about $500 for this fan. It's 7200 CFM or some freaking ridiculous thing. Poles. So, yeah, it's either going to be down there or further up. Not sure yet, but the brackets, there's not much place to attach to this radiator. Maybe on the side here, but the radiator's not, or the fan's not as wide as the radiator. So I don't know why I ordered such a small fan. It is a dual blade, dual fan. There's two big suckers, but I don't know. We'll have to figure that out tomorrow. Assuming it's going to be a rainy day, I hope. So we get our Sunday. Our Sunday was, well, it was Sunday today, but we didn't do much Sunday stuff. We worked, so hopefully tomorrow, Monday, will be our Sunday. It'll rain a little bit and we get some odd stuff done. In the morning, go check cows and stuff, but then hopefully come back to this and make some wicked progress like we've been doing lately. I basically, in 2 days, I went from not touching it to basically doing everything I did in the past couple of months in 2 days. So in reverse though, right? So dragged it in here, cab unhooked, cab off, had to rig up all the chains so we could lift this properly. Got that beam, picked it up with the loader, took it off, transfer case off, engine out with transmission. Didn't have to. Put it back in, slid it back. Could have just slid it back without taking the engine out, but I swapped those motor mounts around to see if they're universal. Anyways, then put it back in and had to frig around with the transmission mount, but we got it pretty good now. So that's how it is. It's pretty wicked. So I just made this plate. I fabricated that plate that bolts to the cross member that comes out so the bolts can touch. And then it sits really low now so it doesn't touch the top of the cab so much. I had to monkey around with that for a little bit, because before this bracket was further ahead and it was touching this, it would have rubbed a hole through the transmission. And then we came about here and cut the tunnel a little bit more. Now it's further back like it's supposed to be. And yeah, so we made some pretty good progress. Tomorrow we'll figure out how to get this radiator in, get that all perfect, and then we'll start doing other stuff. We got to do, I wanted to wash this damn thing. That's what I wanted to do before I put everything together. I wanted to wash this damn motor. God, I should have done that. Anyways, we'll have a bird crap motor for a little bit. I don't know why I forgot that. Damn it. Alright, so now the radiator actually fits on the truck. And we're starting to make mounts to connect it to the radiator. I cut some cardboard stuff out just to kind of mock up. I think this one goes here. Yeah, mock up what I needed for mounts, and then I turned them into metal. So now we're gonna have to just make sure everything's good. I think that one goes there. Yep, beautiful. This one was pretty easy. I'm gonna have to drill some holes in the side. I don't think that has anything to do with cooling, so I think that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna just, ooh, that don't look right. It's a little big. Might have screwed that one up, or maybe just that. And I'm gonna weld it to the plate. Oh yeah, and then this one goes on the other side. Yeah, this one I had to kind of bridge out and bring up. So it's gonna kind of sort of have to be welded like that. That's gonna go there. And then this is gonna stand on the flat plate here, like so, just to kind of bring it out a bit. Anyways, you'll see when it's done. It's gonna be amazing. Spent a couple $100 on this fan, and all they give you is these little, they give you 4 of these and a bag of bolts. Go ahead, you know, like, doesn't do much. So this should really kind of secure just the top, but I just want to make sure the side doesn't take off or start flexing up, because this bad boy, whew, those are some serious motors. So this thing's she's gonna blow like a blonde, that's for sure. I don't know how many CFM were this? Oh, this is a $300 fan. I thought I paid more than that for it. Yeah, the subtotal is $300. Not so bad. It is. Oh, it's 4,000 combined CFM, so it's like 2,000 each. 300 watt. So 4,000 CFM. That's a bunch of freaking air, eh, Howard? That's a lot, buddy. Gonna blow you away, eh, buddy? This is the cat that's scared of heights, eh, buddy? You're scared of heights. He climbs up the shed roofs and then cries for us to come get him. You lost a lot of weight, Howard. I'm concerned for you. Eh? We have to bring you to the vet? I think you got fleas. Something. Alright, so this is where we're at. Secured that. Made this plate here. There's another plate behind it that's bolted. Now I'm just gonna tack weld the top there so it doesn't move, and I'm gonna take it out and weld it fully. I'm gonna do the same on this side now. So what I ended up doing is just drilling into the side. Just kind of line it up, kind of scratch it out so I know where to drill. And I put it on the inside. This one's gonna be different, as was all of them. Not one was the same. I have one piece left. I'm missing a piece, I think. Anywho, that's where that is. So far, so good. This turned out pretty well. I ended up using the cardboard templates for the holes. I just laid it over and felt around with a pointy tool till I broke through. And then I stuck the bolt through and traced it over on top, and then punched it out. Kind of laid that and put the punch through it, and bang, drilled out the holes, and everything lined up pretty much perfect. So we'll see how this goes. I might actually just need one just to hold it bottom down, but it's gonna be symmetrical and all fancy, so I'll take them out after and paint them. And we got to well, this part we got to put some tape where the steel hits the... Is this aluminum or stainless? Maybe it's stainless. Maybe we don't have to. Anyways. Alright, welcome back to another video, guys. It's a rainy day. Thank God we got some rain last night. Puddles everywhere. So today we're going to be working in the shop for most of the day, I presume, unless something comes up. So yesterday we finished making these brackets for this radiator. I got the top ones on. I'm just Got the side ones I tack welded when they were in place. Now we're just going to go ahead and fully weld them. We just want to make sure they don't warp when we weld them. So we're going to clamp it pretty good and weld it slowly. So let's get at that. We're just going to hold that in temporary, and now we're going to start a new project. Now that this truck is almost near complete, we're going to walk away from it and we're going to go find another build, and we're going to start working on that. You know, do like the Goon Squad. We're just almost done. Let's walk away from it. Start another build. Not quite done. Anyways, all jokes aside, this looks pretty good. We have lots of room. Well, not really lots of room, but probably 2 inches. Yeah, so I don't know how this would have ever worked with a mechanical fan. I really don't know. All right, so the radiator's in. Looking sharp, minus all the bird shit. But we got this intercooler now from the 6 liter I found on Marketplace a while ago. Paid 150 bucks for it. Pretty good deal, I'd say. It's Ford, so we got somewhat of similar structure. As you can see, just holding it like that, there's a lot of similarities in the frames. I'm sure there was some kind of bracket I could have got from the 6 liter that would have fit onto here, but I'm gonna have to make my own since I'm in the bracket making mood. So these are open, these brackets here, so we can't just stick a bolt through it because this will slide off unless the bottom is secured. So we're gonna look at that. The bottom mounts look like they just slide in. So, oh no, there's actually no bottom mounts. I thought there were. Huh. Okay. We do have these rubber tabs here. I don't know if that's for the... I don't know what that was for. That might have been for transmission cooler or something. So these are the mounts I was looking for earlier on. This is rubber. There's a little groove it sits in. So that would sit right around here, around this bracket. Or even in here. I gotta try that. Maybe that's where that goes. So that thing's just sitting in there. Those tabs here really look like that's just where it would sit originally. But I can't push it further ahead because it hits here. And it'll probably hit the radiator before it starts standing on those. But that's kind of the idea where I want it to be. Kind of a good spot. I just wish I could get it closer somehow. We can't really. This bracket is permanent. This top piece would have to come off somehow. I don't think we can. No, we can't. Maybe I can take that piece off. I have to, maybe those 2 bolts. Anyways, so that's how that looks. I would like to see on a 6 liter how exactly they got it in. We do have a 7.3, but it's at the shop right now, so I don't have it here. I think that's what I think I have to move this bar out so I can get this plate on this side and then put it back in. As you can see, there's holes and there's bracket points. Exactly. Same spot. That's not a coincidence, I don't think. Oh, yeah, and there's a hole right here. It's got to be for that. Well, I have to pull the radiator out again so I can put the intercooler in first. But look at this fitment. This thing's factory. It fit right on the tabs where it's supposed to go. Both sides. The holes are there for the rubber mounts. Hey, this is beautiful. It fits like a glove. Now we just got to get the plumbing. The plumbing on this side is straightforward. And this one, well, a little bit of an angle. Come up to here, but besides that, the only problem is we could have a leak on the intercooler. It was pretty oily. I don't know if it leaks or not. That would be a bummer, but for what I paid, I don't really care. And the fact that it fits in those mounts is beautiful. I thought I had to like reconfigure everything, but you know, it's a Ford. It's a Ford gasser and a Ford diesel and a 7.3 and a 6-liter, all the same year, so everything seems to accommodate stuff like that. So the only thing I should have done was put a diesel radiator in. That would have been ideal, I think, because these are just for gassers. They are pretty small, and they recommend you, if you're going to be towing, to do that. And I will be, so I probably should have, but I couldn't really find one, and I'm on a budget, believe it or not. All right, so let's find the, I don't know what kind of bolts we need for that, but we'll just stick a regular bolt in there. All right, so now we're just making some of these fixtures for the to mount to the intercooler. We found these in the bin. They're black, presumably they're off the truck. We're just cutting the nuts off of them and replacing them with some standard threaded nuts, so we can put a regular coarse threaded bolt through. This nut I welded on had a lock nut in it, so all the plastic inside of it melted out and kind of blocked the road for the bolt to go through. So we're just forcing it through, and we should be able to slide that in and use it. All right, let's go put that in. So we got this first mount in for the intercooler. That worked pretty good. I ended up changing the bolt size. We don't need that big of a bolt. And we're gonna try to, there's a little hole in the frame here where we slide the nut through, and it just holds itself there. It's a pretty good design. All right, I just installed some plumbing for the radiator. See this nice, beautiful piping. I did the top here, but you can look here. It's, about half of it is, it's not kinked, but it's about half the capacity. But I think once it fills up, it might open up a little bit more. Really have to tighten this top really tight. It almost needs an adapter. There was an adapter that I used for the bottom, for the outlet. Yeah, right in there was an adapter just to bring it down a size. I'm really impressed on how that turned out, that plumbing. Now I'm just doing the intercooler plumbing. It's proving to be pretty challenging because we have this pipe present here now. And we have a battery box, we have the belt. And it's gonna come here, and we got a shock tower. This is still got bird shit everywhere. So yeah, we're gonna have to maybe order the custom one for it, or try to make this Dodge one fit. It's not too far off, except for the diameter of the plumbing. Might have to loosen some stuff and turn it around. too fast to even film. Brake lines are hooked up, steering column shaft is hooked up, throttle cables put in properly, attached to the pedal. We got the reservoir for the coolant on. Just ran up to the parts truck up in the bush to get some nuts for our pedal assembly. So I needed these special 13 mil bolts to go up there. I pushed out the cutout for the master cylinder. Ford has nicely already cut that out for me, so you just push it out. And I'm getting a phone call. All right, just got done making this sweet custom plate, single piece, bent in 2 places. I put some of this construction adhesive behind it, and then I put 6 self taps very carefully to you know, not drill through the transmission, because it's pretty close. Anyways, that was pretty good. It's pretty far from them actually. So that looks pretty good. It took me a couple hours to make that, just to get all the angles right and everything. Started with a piece of cardboard, believe it or not. I'm really liking this idea of using cardboard for everything, because I could really just bend it to every direction. So yeah, another thing done, I put on the trailer hitch. I ran some wiring. I put the rear of the loom in. It goes to the diff, goes to your brake lights, brings power to the pump that I don't need, and it brings power to the transfer case, and then that connects up into the front. I also put the front bumper on and the front clip with the lights, put the latch on. I wired up some of the lights so the fronts are connected. I connected all the back to the front that go into the cab, just so that we have blinkers and everything. Still a fair bit of wiring to do, but a lot of it I don't really need. I need some custom stuff to attach to the Ford so I can get temperature and all that stuff into the cab. Bumpers on too. So yeah, it's starting to look like a truck. I ordered so this is a 1992 master cylinder for the clutch. So my transmission's a 92, but the firewall is 2001, and the new ones, they don't even have this reservoir. It's just a cylinder, and then they have a separate tube that comes up so that we can really get in here without hitting the top. So I ordered that. It was about 50 bucks, so no big deal. So now we're gonna throw the carpet in, and we're gonna cut the carpet out to where the transmission goes through. I actually wanted to plug a couple of these holes first, like this one and this one. That was for the parking cable, and this one over here, I can't really remember what that was for. Anyways, water's gonna come through there and ruin the carpet, so I'm gonna seal that bad boy up. Hey, yeah, it's coming along pretty good. All right, welcome back to another video, everybody. It's Thursday, and we're working on the truck. Devin's cutting some first cut silage still. We're still getting at it. We're only about 30 acres in, so lots to do, but the weather is good. It's sunny. It was supposed to rain yesterday, and it did not, so it's gonna dry pretty quick, so we should probably be able to chop that tonight or tomorrow morning. As for the truck, we're still poking away at it. Actually put a jug of fluid in it yesterday, see if anything would leak, but it's gonna take about 10 more of those. Today we're working on the shift tunnel again. Yesterday we made this plate, and we kind of glued it in and then screwed it in with these self taps, making sure we didn't screw into the transmission, which we didn't. Now what I wanted to do is, still not quite sealed. I really want to seal it properly. So I got this here inner tube that I cut out kind of really fits good over here, but I just want to be able to secure this inner tube down to the plate perfectly and nicely so that it's sealed properly, and then we can throw this ship boot over it, which is not very flexible. It's a hard plastic and we got a little bit of a curve, so this can't really seal much. We're just going to probably put that over it and then put the carpet over it. But for now, I want to make a little kind of a steel perimeter around this plate and hold it in with the screws that hold this plate down. And I want to do that perfectly. So I got my cardboard template again. Gonna lay that over. I'm gonna poke around till I find the holes, and then we can trace it out and make a perfect piece. So that's what we'll be doing. All right, so we got the holes on the cardboard template. So now we can put a steel plate over it, and we can trace out what we want. Basically, we want maybe a 1/4 inch wide perimeter, square box, call it what you want. Basically, we're going to waste some steel.